Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is your teacher, Mr. Roy, and we're here to analyze basic societal issues in such a way that every person in the society, in Nigeria, in the world, understands what the issues are, and so that we can begin to beam the light of intellect into these issues. When we understand the issues, then we can begin to solve it. Today, we're going to be talking about a very brief topic, very relevant to every student, every parent here in Nigeria, and even beyond. Today, we're going to be talking about the problems of the curriculums in Nigeria. So many people talk about going abroad, sending their children abroad. All they know is that something is not right with the Nigerian curriculum. But sometimes it's hard for them to pinpoint what the issues are. And even our leaders, the curriculum framers, sometimes I just feel that do they really understand the issues with our curriculum? Today, we're going to be looking at the real issue with the Nigerian curriculum. Is it that bad? Is it not that bad? Is it very good? What level is it, and what are the issues with the curriculum? Are you ready? It's going to be a very quick but erudite, incisive, and very entertaining time. All right. Now, let's look at what a curriculum should look like. It's very important what a curriculum should look like. A curriculum should be able to tell you what to teach, that is the content of what you're supposed to teach, how to teach what you intend to teach, with what to teach. What are the materials? What are the books you're supposed to use to teach what you intend to teach? And at the end of it all, the assessment. How do you assess a child? How do you assess a child? They often say that if you assess a fish based on his ability to fly, the fish will keep getting 0/100. And at the end of the day, a curriculum should have a problem in mind to solve. A curriculum should have a problem in mind to solve. Okay? Now let's look at what to teach. Now, what to teach in the Nigerian curriculum. My name is Mr. Roy. I've been doing one-on-one lessons for over 10 years. I've worked with several curriculum, American, British, Nigerian, South African, Singaporean, and the list is longer than that. One thing I have noticed very clearly is that what we intend to teach our children, the photosynthesis in biology, the skeletal system in integrated science, the quadratic equation in mathematics, the simultaneous equation, the linear equation, is a universal thing. So what we intend to teach our children is certainly not the problem because it is universal. You take an American curriculum, they are still talking about linear equation, they are still talking about photosynthesis, they are still talking about the excretory system. So the content of what we intend to teach our children is not the problem with the Nigerian curriculum. So tick, that's not the problem. How to teach what we intend to teach? How to teach what we intend to teach? It is largely vested on the quality of the teacher. And that's why I really baffle. It's as if our leaders don't get it. It's as if they don't get it. I see structures, beautiful structures, and you invite people, you commission the structures, and the structure of the school is at the lower ebb of priority in learning and teaching. There is no point having a beautiful school with laboratory and you're paying your teacher 35,000 naira that you will not even pay regularly. The teacher is number one or number two on the order of priority. Do you understand? So when it comes to how to teach, that is how intellectually sound, how passionate your teacher is. Certainly we know that that part of the curriculum. So you can see that a curriculum is not just a paperwork. It's like a living organism that should be dynamic. All right. So what to teach is not the problem with the Nigerian curriculum, but how to teach it now depends on the quality of teachers you have. Your guess is as good as mine. Who are the teachers we have today? 95% of the teachers we have today were students who could not pass JAMB, with all due respect, with those that have been able to train themselves with passion, rejuvenate their knowledge level, and they are excellent teachers today. But on the average, an average teacher that we have, did I say average? 95% of the teachers we have today, they are people who could not pass JAMB. They settled for it because there was no better option. A society cannot be run that way. And certainly when you have those qualities of people manning your classroom, how to teach becomes a problem. So how to teach is a major problem with our curriculum. And please, our curriculum framers, curriculum does not end with just having the design on paper. You have to follow it through. If not, stage one becomes a waste. How to teach is a problem with our curriculum. Our teachers are mostly, I mean, with all due respect, they can get better. If you give them better motivation, better facilities, better training, they can get better. Because the place of education in any society, in our society at this time, is very important. We should see it with a sense of urgency. We should attack it with a sense of urgency. So how to teach is a problem because of the qualities of teachers that we have. I know somebody currently teaching in one of the instances, I won't mention name. They pay them 15,000 naira, which hardly comes every month. How do you pay someone 50,000 naira and expect that very vital part of the curriculum, how to teach, to work? It certainly will not work. So that's a major problem with our curriculum. Wrong with that. With what to teach, what are the things we have to teach? What are the things we have to teach? What are the facilities? What are the apparatuses? What are the books? Because when it comes to what to teach, the book you use is fundamental, is number one. Have you taken time to look at the books our children are actually reading in school? And this is an opportunity to speak to our leaders too. Because nobody is talking about these things. Well, I am talking about it now. The quality of the books that you use to teach children, knowledge cannot go beyond it. If the quality of the book you're using is one, because the quality of the book can be rated. There are books that are 5 over 10, 9 over 10, 10 over 10. If you're using a book that is 3 over 10 to teach children, the child cannot know more than 3 over 10. You can assess the child wrongly based on a standard of 3 over 10, but the knowledge level universally, right, will be 3 over 10. So the quality of our books is essential. I left secondary school in 2008. 2008 to 2024 is exactly 16 years. When I was in SS1, this was the further math book we used. 16 years after, our children are being taught with exactly the same book, further math, essential biology. We all know that all they do is to change the cover. I do not blame the author. They are doing their best, but in other times, governments come in. The books your children are reading is fundamental to the amount of knowledge they can get. Essential biology, color has been changed, but the content is still exactly the same. If you went to school 16 years, 20 years, 30 years ago, you probably just you remember this diagram. It's still there. Nothing has changed. Is there a problem with not changing? But before I even talk about that, about biochemistry, I'm sure you remember this. This was what we were reading when I was in SS1. I bought this, saving my hard-earned, pocket money to buy this. I remember it very well. I read it from pali to pali, from beginning to the end in SS1. I still remember the content. They have not changed. If you're very used to it, I'm sure you can connect to the diagrams. They have not essentially changed. If there is any change, I work with these books every day. If there is any change, they are less than 5%. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. Our societies are changing. Thinking are changing. Mentality is changing. Knowledge is growing. We cannot be using the same book. This is past question. Again, Pali has changed. The front cover, the back cover has changed. Of course, I do not expect past question to change, but when it comes to exams in Nigeria, it's even another kettle of fish. We are so lazy that we are not setting new questions. to test the new knowledge that are available. We're just repeating questions. At the end of the day, we're raising tricky, smart, mostly corrupt children, because all you need to do is just to cram this and you pass, you have an A. The content of an A student should be questioned, right? A curriculum must have a problem in mind that it intends to solve. If you have an A in Nigeria and an A in the UK, what you know is different. What makes the Nigerian A is your ability to cram, memorize past question. At the end of the day, we are raising smart children. Smart, but not necessarily knowledgeable. A smart person will know that I can leave knowledge, I can shunt the process and just cram my past question. I'll pass JAMB, I'll pass the WAEC. Because more than 30% of the questions will be, and that's me being conservative, more than 30% of the questions will be repeated. That's not good for knowledge. It will raise smart kids. Smart kids will know that this is the best way to go. But at the end of the day, they pass the exam, but they don't have knowledge. Smartness will give you the results in Nigeria, but it will not give you the ability to build the computer or design the Canon camera I'm using right now, or be able to craft a method that can defeat Boko Haram, or build structures and weaponry for the military. Knowledge is what we need, not necessarily being smart. That's why an average Nigerian today is a smart person. They can trick you. This is the foundation, and we need to rejig things. So this is past question. Pali has been changed. Of course, the content is almost the same. Now, this is a UK textbook. I used it to teach a child who is an architect now in the UK in roughly, I think around 2016, 2017. 2016, 2017. If you check this book now, the latest version, it's not just about pali to pali. It's not just about pali changing, the front cover changing. It's about content. It's about understanding that knowledge grows. It's a living organism. Mindset grow, and that's why our children will not be interested. Because if you were born in 1978, these things could interest you. The pictures, the content don't have to change. The knowledge you're trying to pass don't have to change. But how, what you're using to pass it. You're explaining sound to a Nigerian child today. Why is Two-Face's name not there? Why am I not seeing the picture of Whiskey? Imagine the effect that we have on learning, because that's what they can relate with. Why are we doing comprehension in English and we're not talking about what they can see? The beggar on Lekki Street, write a comprehension on that. They see it every day. Our curriculum, I am afraid, is designed to encourage failure and not to encourage learning and knowledge acquisition. Please, people in authority, let's work on this. Nobody is talking. Our books are ancient. They are ancient. They are ancient. I'm sure people like Peter Obi, Atiku, and the president of you can connect. If you're a science student, you realize that these are the same books you probably read. So that is that. What we teach with is a problem. What we teach with is a problem, which is stage 3. So the Nigerian curriculum, tick, past what to teach, the content is okay, what we intend to teach is okay. How to teach it? Mba. 0. What to teach with is even worse. We know that using scientific things like this can be very expensive. I have this in my mini lab in the house. I use it for my students. But I know that a public school may not be able to afford these things because they are not cheap. But if we can begin to work on it, for instance, you can create, okay, for the whole of Lagos, we cannot have this available because the truth is, we are not getting teaching right. If we are, more people will be passing. WAEC will come out, NECO will come out, GC will come out. We are saying, 50% failed, 40% failed, 30% failed. We are not giving these children the best. We're not giving these children, this is a question that we even repeat and they're not able to pass it. We can do better and we can get better results. Even if we cannot afford this, we can, okay, for the whole of Lagos State, for instance, you cannot make this available in every school. Have like 10 centers designed to pass these external exams. Children will be coming, if it's once a month, maybe 3 schools each. Come there, play with these things, see these things, understand these things. It's possible. And you see that the success rate you'll be getting in this exam that are highly repetitive will be 90%, 91%. It's not rocket science. I would expect that these are the things our leaders will focus on. Now let's go back to our chart very quickly. So with what to teach, 0/100, assessment, oh God, this is where the cookie crumbles. I certainly do not agree with what our celebrities are doing because they are not impacting our children well. With their looks, with their actions, they are not. But you can understand that a Wizkid is making music today. How come our school system could not assess him well? A Wizkid is an A music maker. A Davido is an A music maker. Even though I have issues with the morality that they are dishing out, affecting our children so much, but they are A music makers. Those are people that should have PhD in music. Who has a PhD in music? Okay, which music have you produced? Okay, you can say that you can write music. Music is different from song and everything. Fine. But my point is, if Wizkid had gone through the music curriculum in Nigeria, he probably will not pass. And that means there's a problem with that curriculum. Because today is making A music. It should get an A. Alright. So our assessment is really, really terrible. And that's where the cookie crumbles. That's the beginning of the Nigerian problem. We need to assess properly. And our assessment should lead to the last one, which is the problem it should solve. What are the problems of the society? You see, they say children are the essence of the future. Children are the essence of the future. If you want your future to be sweet, the children are the ingredients of the future. The curriculum you put them, you subject them to, will determine how sweet they will become. And it's as simple as that. And that's why this curriculum issue, we should tackle it very, 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 very seriously. What is the problem of the society, the Nigerian problem? I'll just pick one so my video does not get too long. Your curriculum is the best way of solving moral issues. Do you know the brain of children, they can easily take in things. I heard someone saying that Nigerian youth are not joining the military. Does your curriculum encourage them to join the military? I have the social studies textbook from primary 1 to primary 6 here. The only picture that shows the Nigerian military in it is not encouraging. And that's what your children will see. What is wrong? And the Nigerian military, they have good pictures, good enough, good parts, special forces here and there to show children like guns. They like those, it's like a movie. They will love it. If you want your children to join the military, pass it through the curriculum. Pass it through the curriculum. So I will just hold on to one side. So many things to talk about that. The Nigerian society has a moral issue. What does your curriculum say about morality? What does your assessment say about morality? Because it's high time, it's high time. We can't be keeping this knowledge to ourselves. We have to put it there. And please, influencers, VDM and co, please propagate, because this is it. This is where the issue is, and this is where we solve it. There is a moral issue in the society. How well is the curriculum? The curriculum is not doing badly, because if you teach civic education, I hear a lot of people say they don't teach history in school again. They don't teach history in school again. Maybe in public schools, but in private schools they do. Please, let's correct that. In private schools, they do. They do history and the social study, and social studies does well in history too. Civic education also does well. So we must clap for the curriculum framers where they are doing well. There are a lot of morality. Civic education is majorly about civic duties and morality. They do a lot of work there. But our assessment, there's no part that says before you have an A, you should show high level of morality. That's how you solve it. That's how you solve it. If anything, when you pass through the Nigerian curriculum, you come out the other end corrupt. The curriculum does not encourage you to be morally upright. The content of excellence in our assessment should have a big percentage of morality in it. The American curriculum today, because they want sports, and that's why they come first. You do an Olympics, if it's not America coming first, it is China. If you want to do well in sports, what you need to do, you make sure that the A component, if a child has an A, at least 30% of that A should be sports driven. Education encourages people to move towards A. A is not necessarily excellent. We must ensure that what we call excellence is the excellence that can transform our society. If you're good in sports in America, for instance, you have opportunities. You can have A, the system will assess you well. Just because you can run fast or play lawn tennis, and look at what they are getting. Our problem is not sports. Well, we have problems in sport, but there's a more greater problem of morality. You impute it in your assessment. So if you say you had a first class in University of Lagos, we know that 30% of that first class has to do with morality. Nobody is talking about these things while our children are rotting away and wasting away and being smeared with smartness to shunt the system. No society can grow beyond the level of its curriculum. No society can grow beyond that. And we should see curriculum as a living organism. It's not just, oh, these are the topics. It goes beyond that. How will this topic be taught? With what will the topic be taught? Books. We don't invent. I've never. I've been following the Nigerian politics closely enough. I have never heard a situation where a state governor will say, okay, this is the number of millions we are going to put into encouraging people to write books. Incentives, subsidies. Do we have chemistry written in Yoruba, for instance? Biology written in Afikpo language, Jokwa, or physics written in Hausa language. Do you know the impact that will make? Anyway, that will be a story for another day. But please, my passionate appeal is that the government should just come in. We need you, our leaders. These are the real issues, and let's go down and solve them. Thank you very much. My name remains Mr. Roy, your teacher, and I'm going to see you next time to talk about another issue. Bye for now.